What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Megatime. I am Darcage. I have Cho with me once again. Today we are talking about Megaforce episode 5, correct? United We Stand?
Yes,
It's episode
5. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we were talking about episode 5, which was, I don't know, in my opinion, kind of a pretty bland episode. Not really boring, but not terribly exciting either. I think the most exciting thing that happened
was a weird episode.
Yeah, we got the Sky Brothers card, which they're not fucking around with getting these headers out, man. I don't know. Was Ghost Ager this fast?
I didn't watch Ghost Ager. We need to. We should, so we can refer to it since we keep talking about it, you know?
Either that or we just need somebody to tell us. Like, if we're being stupid, then that's fine. But, until we figure out how Ghost Ager went. But, I don't know. For me, it just feels kind of fast because they've already gotten their Megazord in the second episode. And then all 3 alt forms of that Megazord the following episodes. It just seems kind of quick, in my opinion. Like, why not space those out, develop some kind of story, something first, but I don't know. I don't make those shots. I'm just a fan. I just watch the show and make some YouTube videos. So this is this is as far as my influence or our influence on Megaforce goes. But okay, basically the story or the episode, I guess, recap for this was mainly it's centered around Emma and Gia, which is a little weird considering we got the Sky Brothers card. You think it would center around Troy and Emma, since they're, the Sky Tribe Megaforce Rangers. So the episode starts out with there's actually a pretty cool scene of Emma and Gia riding through the forest on their dirt bikes or on their mountain bikes. And it was like it kind of reminded me of Power Rangers Ninja Storm, because that one was all centered around like the extreme sports thing. So that's pretty cool. They end up finding a pretty rare flower, which kind of is the whole starting off of the story. But when I first saw the flower, I thought the flower was going to be the monster, because that's usually what they tend to do in Power Rangers. But they take pictures of it, and then they go off. They get a doot 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 from Gosei. I really need to figure out what that fucking... Is it just the Megaforce Morpher? I don't know. What's the name of it?
I mean, it is the Megaforce Morpher, but it doesn't have, like, a specific sound. It's just this weird little...
it's just like a
beepy noise. It doesn't have a tune.
It sounds like a biohazard siren. Anyway, they got a call from Gosei saying to get here as soon as possible, but they cut to commercial and then cut back, and they were all of a sudden running into battle. So it was kind of a weird transition between the two parts, the original footage to the stock footage. But they end up running into a monster we have not seen yet, and it wasn't our typical like insect monster. At least it didn't look like it. To me, it looked like something from Gokaiger mixed with the demon dude with the star on his chest from Lightspeed Rescue. I think that's kind of what he looked like to me. So he didn't look particularly insect-like, which was also a point Noah made later on the episode, which it was funny because Joe and I were watching it, and I was talking to her, and I was like, that doesn't look like an insect monster. And then she kind of laughed, and later on in the episode, Noah said, hey, this isn't an insect. Anyway, they fight him, and he actually did like a pretty good job of just like scouting them out, which I think was a really cool... It was another little plot device to show off Gia and Emma's teamwork, but the whole scene was pretty cool. Like, it was a pretty well done scene. Granted, it was stock footage, but it was a pretty cool little fight scene. And then after the little fight is over, Gia and Emma go to a 1-hour photo place to print her photos out of the flower, and nobody saw the gigantic fucking bee hiding behind a tiny mannequin. Nobody saw that, which makes me think that these people in this town want to be hurt. Because if you can't spot a gigantic mutant bee, You deserve to have your town squished. It's just my
I
opinion.
actually didn't even notice what she was hiding behind.
Really? She was hiding behind
I didn't
like
know
a
she was
shop
hiding behind a mannequin. I thought she was behind like a pillar or a wall or something.
No, she was just behind... That's why I laughed when I saw it, because she was just standing behind a mannequin. Then she sprays him with like this weird gel thing. And
Denim.
they start fighting with each other. The whole monster's, I guess, objective is to control the men in the town, to make them her slaves, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's the whole queen bee thing. And then they cut to the school where Noah and Jake are waiting to play soccer or something. But Noah's fucking with the computer. What is he doing on the computer? Did they ever explain?
I don't think they said. Noah's just always on the computer for one reason or another.
So they're just selling the point that he's a nerd, basically. Like that's what that whole dynamic thing was for, was just to be like, okay, yeah, he's a nerd. He's a computer nerd. But the people who are playing soccer outside that Jake wants to go play with end up getting attacked by the queen bee. Beatrix? Is that her name?
Bizarra, actually, I think.
Beatrix. Beelzebub.
It's Bizarra.
Bizarre.
It's not Beatrix. It's closer to Bizarra if it's not that than anything.
Beelzebub?
That would be a boy name.
So what was it? Bizarro?
I believe so.
The bee.
I would have to double check.
The friggin' bee. We'll just call her that.
Queen bee.
We'll call her Queen Bee. Queen Latifah. Whatever. But she attacks the boys on the soccer pitch and end up enslaving him. The Blue and Black Ranger show up because they saw her from the window of the classroom and start fighting her. As they're fighting her, they get their ass stomped. Like, not even like any jokes about it. They get their ass whipped. Which, this is the first time this season that we've seen a monster beat the Rangers to the point of demorph. So that was actually a really cool thing to see. I mean, it's kind of fucked up to be happy about the Rangers getting their ass kicked, but it was cool to see them get their ass kicked until they demorphed. And then after that, the boys get enslaved. Girls are still fighting. There's this retarded scene between when Noah and Jake are on the ground when they first get stung by the bee, and they cut to Noah and Jake, and Noah's just kind of flopping there, and then Jake's like rolling. I was like, I can't move, like in this, in the most ridiculous, overacting voice I've ever heard. But it was funny, like it was legitimately funny, because he said that, and I started laughing and laughing and laughing because of the look on his face. It was
and his
awesome.
back legs like up in the air,
Yeah,
just kind of twitching. Like he legitimately looks like he's paralyzed.
Yeah. And then it cuts.
The best
and then it cuts to Emma and Gia, which I don't know. This is the sting. It must have fucked with Emma's head, because she's talking about forming the blaster, but there's only 2 of them, and she just completely forgets what her weapon was used for. Because she's trying to shove it into the tiger claw, which it doesn't even go. Like, hers is like the back of the whole blaster. It's the trigger part. And then she runs into battle swinging her gun backwards like a weapon. Like, what happened? Why did she go all loopy and stupid? I don't understand. Can somebody explain it to me? Like, did I miss something? Like, is that what was going on? Like, did I miss a part where it affected her in a different way than everybody else?
Actually, well, I can't really explain that away, but I think it might be a similar effect when like when I've been put on certain medications and I have some type of temporary insanity. You've experienced that with me, have you not?
I have, that's true. That's very true.
Okay, and you cannot explain why I just kind of go crazy.
No.
And
But anyway,
that's all I can.
It was more than just her fighting with Gia. Like, her personality flips, and she becomes somebody we haven't seen all season. So when they're looking for the guys and fucking Beatrix, whatever her name is. They're looking for clues. Well, Emma's looking for clues. Gia's being Gia.
Gia.
Yeah, and they end up going in separate directions, and Emma ends up finding the monster, and then not even, like, waiting or anything, she just rushes into battle and gets her ass kicked. So then Gia shows up, and the power of friendship saves the day. Emma breaks free of the vines because the Sky Brothers card reacted to her friendship with Gia, cut the vines off of her. She got the Sky card, and then was proceeding to use it in battle, like with the little headers on her pistol. And her and Gia team up for a like ultimate dino shot or something. Oh, but before that, Gia called the Land Brothers and was using the Land Brothers headers. She attached, the Kabuto beetle to her gun and shouted Beetle Blast. And if anybody who's an old Saban fan has seen like a lot of his other shows, like Beetleborgs, they'll know exactly what that is a reference to. At least to me, that's what it was a reference to. Because Beetleborgs used to say Beetle Blast all the time. I thought it was cool. I don't know if it was intentional or not. Something strikes me as, Saban's not that smart to make that a reference. But it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool little Easter egg to be like, oh, I know where that's from. I know that I've heard that before. So that was pretty cool.
Beetleborgs fails.
Say feels or fails?
Yes. Feels.
Oh. Did you? Yes. Well, no, because, it did fail pretty spectacularly. It ran for a couple of seasons, but it was not a good show. Especially if you watch it now. Holy crap, it's on Netflix. Go watch it on Netflix. If you have not seen Beetleborgs and you want to laugh, go watch it on Netflix. But anyway, back to Megaforce. After that, they do a team-up shot, a super dino shot or something like that, where Gia uses the dino header and Emma uses the Terra header, and they destroy the monster, which breaks the spell on the boys, but there's like a little slapstick part where, they think they're still cursed. So they keep their mouth covered, and, it was a pretty predictable scene, but...
And Gia's being Gia and makes, Jake put his hand back over his mouth. Is that his name? Yeah, Jake.
Yeah, Jake.
And, well, I thought you would get a kick out of that part because you would have been like, seriously? And just done your whole, oh, gosh, such a bitch thing again.
Well, no, it was just one of those things where I'm just like, I'm waiting for the monster to fucking grow again. Cause like it was like that spot between the battle is over, quote, the battle is over, and the whole enemy sending down the flavor of the season's fucking make my monster grow thing. So that's what I was waiting for. I wasn't really paying attention to the little slapstick comedy routine between Gia and Jake, because it's only episode 5, but it's kind of, that whole dynamic's kind of run its course. Like, Jake needs to stop trying, and Gia needs to stop being a bitch. That's just the way I feel about it. But
Oh.
Go ahead.
Wait, sorry. I'll mention that later.
Okay.
Nope.
So, Creepox is all disappointed, which is weird. Like, he's like super disappointed that they killed Queen Latifah, and so they send down the Zombats, and she grows, and she makes some stupid remark of "You'll never destroy me," even though technically she was destroyed. And they summon the Megazord and get their ass kicked in very predictable fashion. Call the Sky Brothers, but when it comes to calling the Sky Brothers, Troy calls the Sky Brothers. And there is no explanation as to why he has access to the Sky Brothers card. Anybody who knows the premise behind Ghost Sager knows why he can summon the Sky Brothers cards. But for Megaforce, they didn't really explain it, because they don't have the whole association of land, water, air. They don't have those tribes association. So it's not really like a partner thing. It's like a whole team thing. So, in my opinion, I know it's stock footage, and they can't really do much about stock footage, but it seemed like a card that was used for Emma and Gia more than Troy and Emma. Like, this episode, in my opinion, should have been centered around Troy and Emma if it was going to be the Sky Brothers episode. You know, that's just the way it makes sense in my head. You know, to kind of explain that whole bit where he calls the Sky Cards. You know, and I guess it could be explained in a pretty simple way. You know, he's the leader, so he's the one that calls the Zords. I don't know. So. But I will say, the Sky Brothers Megazord looks very derpy. Super derpy. The headers on its
You
shoulders.
say that about all of them.
I know. The only one that I didn't mind was water, because he kind of looked cool. He kind of looked like a pirate. But land looks stupid, just because of its head. Like, he has a Kabuto beetle on his head, and it's not even like this way. It's this way. Like, his butt opens up and sits on his head. It's just weird. And then the Sky Brothers card, the Hawk has 3 heads, which is weird. So it looks like a friggin'...
It's got like horns, right?
Well, yeah, it's like
it looks like
it's
horns
like this.
to me.
Like, the Hawk head's
I know
like
it's
this,
got 3,
and then it opens.
like 3 heads, but it looks like 3 horns coming out of his head.
Yeah, it just looks funny.
The way they've got it.
And they couldn't find any better place for the other 2 heads. Like, they just put him on his wings. And why is it that it can only fly when the Sky Brothers card is active? it had wings the entire time. The entire time it's had wings, and now it flies. How does it make any sense?
Okay.
But anyway, they end up doing... I didn't really see the special attack for the Air Megazord, did you? Was it just the 3
it
heads
has a victory
shooting?
charge like every time, but I wasn't really paying attention. Eek.
I don't remember what the victory charge was.
I didn't catch it. Because every time they change it,
Was it just
every time
flying?
they
Like,
use
they just flew at him,
card.
right?
They were fluing.
They were fluing. They were fluing. Like, I thought they just turned set themselves on fire and flew through the monster. I don't know. What was it? You tell us. Comment below and tell us what the hell the Hisatsu move was.
Sorry.
I don't know. Overall, the episode was a pretty boring episode. Like, the non-stock stuff was kind of cool. The beginning of the episode stuff is pretty cool. But other than that, it was just kind of a lackluster episode. I didn't really care for it. I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't think it was spectacular. You know, it was just an episode. It was the Air Brothers episode, so... Wasn't bad, wasn't good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It was just a little weird. At least it didn't bore me to tears. You know, I wasn't falling asleep watching it, but it was just meh.
Mm-hmm. It just really felt like they were wrapping up getting the new headers bit. Like, they were just like, all right, we have one more episode. We just had to get them the air cards, and we can move on to something.
Is that the last one?
As far as I know, it is. Because we already got water, land, and air. At least until we get, additional headers.
Mm-hmm.
So for the base headers, that should be it, I think. Because I'm pretty sure each tribe only had 1 card. And each card came with a Megazord.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's it.
So they're developing the story that way. They've gone through all the cards, so there's got to be something else they're trying to get to. And I'm wondering what that is, or
I don't know.
it's something
in my
good.
opinion, I think a lot of the stuff towards the end of the season is going to be a lot of original content, because they have to tie in a lot of the stuff for the 20th anniversary. So I think what they're doing is they're speeding through the main plot points of Go Sager to open up some space towards the middle or end of the season to start pumping in some of those original storylines. That's what I'm hoping for. That's kind of, in my opinion, what seems to be happening, is they're just trying to go through, because like anybody who watches Sentai knows, the first half of the season is like a lot of the new introduction stuff. So like you get
Mhm.
the new Zords, you get the new Rangers, and then halfway through the season it flips over to being about what the actual story is about. So that's
Mhm.
what I think it's going to be. We're going to get maybe 5 to 10 more episodes of just doing things for the sake of progressing the story, and then we'll finally get into, the actual original content of what the 20th anniversary is going to be.
Well, Troy is still having those dreams. Like, I thought the first episode might be the only time we'd really see it much throughout the season, and that they wouldn't really touch on it really again. But they showed it in the episode Stranger Ranger.
Yeah.
Which was the last episode, actually.
Mhm.
And it looks like they might show it again, so...
Well, yeah, I mean,
that might...
there are still the rumors that we got that they had reshot the Legend War. And anybody
Mm-hmm.
who's been watching Megaforce up till now knows the Legend War we've been seeing has not been the reshot Legend War. Everyone's bitching about it. Everyone's calling Saban lazy for not editing. People don't understand the difference between stock footage and editing. You can't edit out a character who's in stock footage. You just can't. So we saw Die Ranger a couple times, Die Red, in a lot of the flashbacks. In my opinion, it's not that big of a deal. That shit can be easily explained away with one sentence, and that one sentence is, there are other Rangers on other planets. We've gotten proof that there are other alien Rangers. We've got the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. We've got Taizan from Operation Overdrive. We've got Treo Triforia from Zeo. We got Andros and Zane from space. There are Rangers on other planets. So if they even decide, even if they didn't reshoot the Legend War, if they decide to use just straight stock footage and say the Rangers from the galaxy teamed up to defeat the evil empire, then in my opinion that's enough explanation they need. So anyway, we're getting sidetracked. That was
I...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna go back to this episode. Sorry. That was my pen. I was just gonna go back to this episode. Something I noticed, like, way at the beginning about Gia that might kind of annoy you is the scene with the flower. You know how they were taking the pictures, Emma and Gia together, and Emma had the camera and stuff. And she said that the pictures were just for them, that it might, and she kind of slipped in there that it would ruin her tough girl image.
Well, yeah, don't
If
you know that tough girls
anyone...
can't smile?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
And it was like, really?
That didn't annoy me. Like
Seriously?
a lot of this stuff would probably annoy the female viewers. Like lines like that, and just, I don't know. For me, I just didn't care.
Well,
The whole flower
they
bit at
kind
the
of...
beginning of the episode, I gave no shits for. There was
They
no
kind of
point.
milked the girl power thing a little bit, or tried to, made an attempt at it, and failed.
I just don't see
Like, they...
I don't see any of the point behind the initial bit with the flower. Besides just showcasing their friendship.
Well, yeah.
I thought they should have done something with the flower. I don't know.
You thought what?
So I thought they should have done something with the flower.
What do you mean?
Something. Made it into a monster. Fucking something. Alright, guys. Well, that was it for Megaforce Episode 5. This is the 4th Megatime episode? Yeah, 4th, because we crammed 3 and 4 into one episode. So this is our 4th Megatime episode. Tell us what you thought of the episode. I mean, do you guys agree with us? Do you think we're full of shit? Let us know in the comments below. Hit the like button for us if you like the episode. Let us know how we can improve the show, or if there's things you want to talk about. We will be vlogging during the week. Hopefully everything will be on schedule this week. Again, we apologize for the delay in last week's Megatime episode. But with our other channels, it's kind of hard to determine which videos get the proper attention. So let us know what you thought about the episode. Give us some feedback if you haven't subscribed yet and you like what you hear here, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You don't have to, but we'd appreciate it. My name is Darcage. The cute one is Chill. And we will see you guys next time.